And we are inside the Millennium Stadium, Cardiff, for the 2004 Carling Cup final. It's Middlesbrough versus Bolton Wanderers. The fireworks are going off around us. A capacity crowd in here. The Boro fans occupying the north end. Middlesbrough have emerged from the north dressing room, which traditionally is said to be the lucky dressing room. The next 90 minutes or so, we'll see how that unfolds. It's a massive day for the Boro boss, Steve McClaren. It's his first domestic final as an English football manager. Whatever happens here this afternoon, an English manager will be picking up the Football League Cup, and that will be the first time an English manager picks up a domestic trophy since 1996, when Brian Little lifted it with Aston Villa, an Aston Villa team that featured Gareth Southgate and Ugo Ehiogu. Here's the presentation party now. The chief guest is Mark Hunter. He is the Marketing and International Development Director of Coors Brewery. Carling, of course, the latest sponsors of this, the Football League Cup, and he's being led out there by the Right Honourable Sir Brian Mawhinney, the MP, of course, and Chairman of the Football League. He meets the Bolton Wanderers team first of all, led, of course, by their captain, JJ Okocha, who is back from African Nations duty to lead his side against Middlesbrough in this, the Carling Cup final. And what an occasion it is at the Millennium Stadium here in Cardiff. And this man has been with us through all the early rounds, Gordon McQueen. And Gordon, as we just look around the stadium and we see the teams there just quickly, this is massive, isn't it, for this club?
Well, they keep on going on about Wembley, Michael, but this is fantastic. This more than matches Wembley. I think betters it. The entrance by the players there and all the razzmatazz was absolutely awesome. The fans are just absolutely loving this. The atmosphere outside, the build-up to the game's been absolutely fantastic. Let's just hope the game matches the build-up.
Brian Mawhinney introduced by Gareth Southgate there to the Boro team. George Boateng, Doriva, Joseph Job starts. There is Ugo Ehiogu, he's back in. Juninho, how much this means to him, and they're the substitutes. Michael Ricketts, Chris Rigger, Brad Jones, Massimo Macaroni. And what a night for young Stuart Downing. And there is Steve McClaren. What a day it is for the Boro boss. Boro's mascot featured, of course, on Boro TV Extra's News Extra. The rest of the presentation party includes Anthony Pigeon, who was winner of a charity auction and won the right to meet both the teams. What will be going through Steve McClaren's mind at the moment? Well, it looks fairly happy.
Yeah, it looks very, very relaxed, and I hope the players in the same frame of mind. It's obviously a massive, massive game. A chance for Steve McClaren to go down in history. A chance for these players out here today to go down in history. Middlesbrough supporters in 50 years' time will be able to rattle this team off. The names of the players in this team, if they manage to win their first ever bat of silverware.
The national anthem will be led by Lawrence Robinson. Odd thousand people inside the Millennium Stadium, Cardiff. We'll run through the teams for you now, and we'll start with Bolton Wanderers. In goal for them, number 22, Jussi Jääskeläinen, 3, Simon Charlton, 4, Kevin Nolan, 5, Bruno Ingotti, 6, Jure Djorkaeff, 8, Per Franson, 10, JJ Okocha, the Bolton captain, 14, Kevin Davies, 16, Ivan Campo, 18, Nicky Hunt, and 26, Emerson Tome. The Bolton substitutes, Kevin Paul, Anthony Barnes, Stelios, Henrik Pedersen and Harvey Moreno. Middlesbrough team for you then. Mark Schwarzer in goal, number 1. 15, Danny Mills. 4, Ugo Ehiogu. 20, Doriva. 7, George Boateng. 10, Juninho. 27, Bolo Zenden. 14, Gaidka Mendieta. 16, Joseph Job. 6, and captain Gareth Southgate. And 3, Frank Kedru. The Middlesbrough substitutes, Bradley Jones, number 35. Chris Riggett, number 5, Michael Ricketts, the former Bolton player, 17, Massimo Macaroni, 9, and Stuart Downing, 19. Jure Djurkaeff, of course, and a very proud Englishman captaining his side, Middlesbrough. He said when he arrived a couple of years ago, he came to Middlesbrough to win trophies and win medals, and he won't get many better opportunities than this against a Bolton Wanderers team, will he?
No, he will not, and he's got an important role to play with both Gareth Southgate and Hugo Egiog. There's much been made about the flair players, Michael. You know, Djurkaeff, Akocha on the Bolton side, Zenden, Mendieta, Juninho on the Middlesbrough side. But I think the battle could be won or lost today with Egiog and Southgate's confrontation with Kevin Davis. Kevin Davis is a player that's playing really well, physically tough, having a great season with Bolton, caused us problems before the Cup, remember when he was at Chesterfield. And if Hugo Egiog and Southgate can get on top of him, I think that'll go a long way to helping Middlesbrough win this trophy.
There is Jure Djurkaeff, of course, signed in February 2002 from Kaiserslautern. He's won cups in his career before, the UEFA Cup with Inter Milan and the Cup Winners' Cup with Paris Saint-Germain. A lot will depend on how that man plays, won't it?
Yes, but remember, I mean, he's had great games of Kocha for Bolton Wanderers, but I've watched him in plenty of occasions where he's been awful as well. I mean, he is a hit and miss player, and certainly let's hope that he's a bit of a miss today, because he has got the talent to go out and win this game on his own.
Mike Riley from West Yorkshire is our referee. If Middlesbrough hadn't qualified for this final, our referee this afternoon would have been Jeff Winter. Unfortunately, with his allegiances towards Middlesbrough, he couldn't referee this final, but he is here. And he sat in the North Stand somewhere, and he's wearing his red and white shirt, and he told us on Boro TV Extra that that's how we would prefer to see the game. The roof is on, despite the bright sunshine that we have here in Cardiff. I know it's been snowing back in Teesside, although I've been down here for a couple of days in the build-up to this match. It's cold and chilly outside, the sun is shining, but we're playing under the roof here at the Millennium Stadium, Cardiff, and it will be Bolton Wanderers who kick off the League Cup final, the 44th final, the 4th one here at Cardiff, and there will be a new name on the trophy. Neither of these sides have won this competition. Bolton have to go back to 1958 for their last trophy, the FA Cup. Middlesbrough, you don't need me to tell you, it's been 128 years without a trophy as yet. And a chance in the very early stages, maybe for Joseph Job, but Jussi Jääskeläinen, the Bolton keeper, cleared it into his own fans at the south end of the stadium. So all the talking is over, all the preliminaries are finished, the hype has gone, and now the match is underway. And it's with Joseph Job, and that's going to be a goal kick, much to Joseph Job's disappointment.
Well, it's certainly a better start than one cup final that we can both remember, Michael, when I think by this time Damati had already scored a goal in the first, what, 50 seconds or so, so look on the bright side.
No Roberto Di Matteo this time, and no 30-odd seconds, quickest goal in FA Cup history. This is going to be a Bolton Wanderers free kick after a foul there by George Boateng. Middlesbrough showing one change in their side from the team that played at Newcastle 8 days ago. Frank Kadri returning from suspension, and Stuart Parnell, who doesn't make the 16. Bolton have 4 changes from their side, who face Manchester City. As Djurkaeff whips the ball in, it was Campo trying to flick it on, and it was Kedru in the end just heading the ball away from JJ Akocha. That would have been a goal just after the first minute had ticked by. But Mills it is, clears it towards Job. Header was only as far as Mendieta. Zenden's made a really good run, and it's a really good early opportunity for Boro. Zenden! Joseph Job has opened the scoring within 2 minutes for Middlesbrough. And we talked about what happened last time Middlesbrough in a cup final when it was an early goal against. But Boro are in dreamland in the early stages of this game. It's them that have fired the bullet to Bolton Wanderers, and it's Middlesbrough who are ahead.
Shocking defending by Bolton, but a fantastic start by Middlesbrough here. Mendieta picks up a lovely ball inside the full-back. Zenden, not a good first touch. I thought he took it too wide, but he whizzes it across the 6-yard area. Joseph Job, who's been playing superbly well of late, knocks it in for a fantastic start for Middlesbrough Football Club. Great defending by Frank Kadri at the other end, because we nearly went 1 down, but he stayed alert at the Djurkaeff free kick, hit them in the counter-attack, 1-0 to the Boro.
Middlesbrough are ahead in the Carling Cup, and less than 2 minutes were played when Joseph Job scored the goal. And what a goal, what an important goal that could prove to be. Steve McLaren, we understand, actually missed the goal because he was changing into his tracksuit from his suit with the pink ties that he was talking about. But he'll be delighted.
I think he'll have a fair idea that we've scored the goal. He only needs to look at that Middlesbrough end. It's an absolute uproar. They can't believe it. All the bad times we've had in cup finals, we've got off to a dream start. Got to give us a great chance in this one.
Joseph Job, 6th goal of the season for the 26-year-old from Cameroon. He's put Boro 1 up in the Carling Cup final. But there's a long, long way to go. And we've had too many highs and lows in cup competitions in years gone by to start uncorking the champagne yet. Kidru. Zenden tried to flick it on. It was away by Ngotti. And here is Ivan Campo. He's found a Kocha. Now Okocha gets the return ball. Bolton looking to get back in the early stage of this game. Davies had made the run forward. And here is Bolton Wanderers again. And the shot comes in. It was hit, I think, there by Ugo Ehiog, and away this time by Kidru once again.
Yeah, good defending by Frank Kidru. As we mentioned earlier, he did really well. Stayed alert for the Durkev free kick. It passed by a couple of central defenders, but Frank at the back post headed it clear. And this time he's kicking it clear with that trusty left foot of his.
So it's Bolton that launched a long throw-in. Headers come out, and it was Danny Mills defending. Simon Charlton, the referee, was in the way. Now another opportunity, and it's a great save from Jure Djorkaeff's shot by Mark Schwarzer, and that's very important.
Oh, I'd like to see this one in the replay. This looks to me as if it might have been getting in this one. I think this is a terrific save. Mills clears it. Charlton out to Djorkaeff, hits it left-footed. That's got to have a chance, ended up in the back of the net. Good save by Mark Schwarzer. What a start to this game.
Some people said that this wasn't going to be exciting. Header was out, and it's going to be a Middlesbrough free kick. I was listening to some of the so-called pundits this morning. I'm reading some of the papers saying, oh, it's Bolton, Middlesbrough. That's not going to be a good game, but off to a flyer.
That was always nonsense. I mean, I heard one or two of the pundits, and it's a job that I do, Michael, but I heard one or two of the pundits on television yesterday bemoaning the fact that they didn't think it would be a good game. How can you say that when you've got people that we mentioned there, like Mendieta, Zenden, Juninho, Djorkaeff, Okocha, bound to produce some entertainment, and it certainly has in these opening stages.
One end of this stadium, the north end, is absolutely rocking at the moment. It's Juninho onto Mendieta. Job's made the run into the middle. Ball finds its way to Joseph. Job goes down. Penalty kick. It's a penalty kick with 5 minutes played. And this is a real opportunity. The Bolton players now surround our referee, Mike Riley. Per Franson, JJ Okocha, Ivan Campo and Nicky Hutt are leading the protest. But Middlesbrough have a penalty kick.
This looks an extremely harsh penalty given against Bolton Wanderers here. It's played into Joseph's feet. Is it Emerson Tom? Maybe a touch on the clumsy side. Yes, that's a clumsy tackle. He's took up a bad position. He's got his body at the wrong angle to make the tackle there. Joseph tries to roll him, goes down, and, well, Emerson Tom's only got himself to blame. It's a little bit on the harsh side. The Bolton Wanderers players very, very unhappy. But we've got a chance now, Zenden, to take this penalty kick. What a start this could be.
Well, it's the former Sunderland player, Emerson Tom, who's given the penalty away. Bolo Zenden against Jussi Jääskeläinen, the Finnish international goalkeeper. The Dutch international midfielder. Zenden scores 2-0. Unbelievable. We have played 7 minutes exactly, and Emerson Tom has given the penalty away, and Middlesbrough are 2 up in the Carling Cup final.
It's not the best of penalties either.
They all count.
It's straight down the middle, not with a lot of power. I think he's hit it left-footed off his right foot there, in actual fact. It's nearly a double hit by Zenden. Really nervous taking that penalty. Jääskeläinen gets a foot to it, but knocks it into the roof of the net. 2-0 to Middlesbrough. The crowd are going absolutely potty here.
Well, 1 was good, 2 is better. It's breathing space for Boro. And Bolton now have a massive hill to climb, but they have time to do it. And it's not the start Sam Allardyce would have wanted.
Well, that is just unbelievable. We've complained about bad starts in cup finals before, but we've certainly never had one like that when we've been 2-0 down after 7 minutes. Disastrous for Bolton.
It's going to be a Middlesbrough free kick for the foul on Danny Mills by Kevin Nolan. Kevin Nolan, very, very good friend of Michael Ricketts, a man we were speaking to on Boro TV Extra this week. Kevin Nolan, product of the Bolton Academy. Mark Schwarzer, suddenly that save that he made a few moments ago looks really, really important. Could have been 1-0.
Could be crucial. It could be crucial. It's no surprise. Mark Schwarzer is, I think you well know, Michael, a goalkeeper that I rate very, very highly indeed.
Pideru into Zenden, score of the second goal. Didn't think I'd be saying that this early in the game, but I'm pleased about it.
Well, it's just a staggering start. Absolutely astonishing start. The Middlesbrough supporters can't believe it. I'll tell you what, nor can the Bolton Wanderers fans. They're just dumbstruck. The Middlesbrough fans in full voice, and great voice, and just cannot believe the start they've had in this game.
Well, we're actually sat, I have to tell you, about 20 metres for some Boro fans, but we're surrounded by Bolton fans at the moment, and it's glum faces all round, as you would imagine, as Charlton puts the ball forward. Ehiyog it was that cleared it. Franson trying to play the ball back into Nolan. Here's Janino, but it's going to be a Bolton Wanderers free kick.
Crikey, the little man's hardly touched the ball yet, and we're 2-0 up.
How often do you say that? It was his vital goal down at Highbury in the first leg of the semi-final, which really started people in Teesside and people in Middlesbrough thinking that maybe this could be our year. Okocha's ball forward, and the flag was up.
Yeah, there's a few Bolton players in central areas and offside positions, and I don't think that was the free kick that Sam Allardyce had planned in the training ground. He just hit it far too early at the back post for Emerson Tom, and it never gave the Bolton players time to get back into an onside position, although they're not supposed to be active when they do that anyway. So you tell me, I mean, everybody's completely bewildered with this offside ruling.
Well, was he in the line of sight of Mark Schwarzer? It's an interesting one. It seems, from what we've seen so far, our assistant referees are going with the traditional ruling. Djorkaeff, and the ball was out of play. Bolton 2 places above Middlesbrough in the Premiership, had to beat Walsall, Gillingham, Liverpool, Southampton and Villa over 2 legs in an amazing semi-final to get to this stage. Boro, it all started against Brighton, and we should mention Malcolm Christie, who of course can't be with the team because of his broken leg, but it was Malcolm Christie's goal against Brighton in injury time that set this cup run up. Wigan, Everton on penalties, Spurs on penalties, and Arsenal over 2 legs to be in this final. Here's Tom, who gave the penalty away. Ball in towards Davies, tried to touch it off to Nolan. Nolan has support now, and here is an opportunity, and it was good play, Gareth Southgate. Really good play, Gareth Southgate, as the cross came in there.
Great interception here, because this is good Bolton movement here. Beautiful little ball in behind that Frank Pedro here. The ball comes across, but it's read wonderfully well. Corner to Bolton.
Corner quick, which Djorkaeff it is that whips it in. Campo won the header, and Schwarzer takes it under pressure from Nolan. I don't think Steve McLaren, even in the best dream he had last night, was 2-0 up in 11.5 minutes, was he?
No, incredible. Missing the first one. He's getting changed out his cup final suit. Very nice it is as well, but getting changed up out his cup final suit into a tracksuit and misses the first goal. Would you believe it?
Here's Janino, what it would mean to him to win something with Middlesbrough. He said it would equal his World Cup winners' medal earlier in the week. And I believe him. This club means so much to him. 31 years old a week ago. This would be a very, very nice late birthday present for Janino. So if you've just joined us, you've missed a cracker. Joseph Job opened the scoring in 2 minutes. And Bolo Zenden scored from the penalty spot on 7. After a foul on Joseph Job by former Sunderland player Emerson Tom. Here's Mills. Goes down, wins the free kick. We're watching a very special edition of the Boro match on Boro TV Extra from the Millennium Stadium, Cardiff. Gordon McQueen alongside us, and we're enjoying it so far. Seems there might be some drama to come though. His job. Zenden trying to find Mendieta. Here's Djorkaeff. Broke to Boateng. Try to play Juninho in. And now it comes to Juninho again. Hunt's recovered enough.
I tell you, if Bolton keep defending the way they have done in the early stages of this game, I mean, Middlesbrough could be getting more goals. I mean, they've looked quite bright going forward, Bolton, but I mean, the first goal was just, I mean, they get caught completely at the back. You know, hitting the counter-attack. Good Middlesbrough football when Frank Woodrow cleared that free kick, but to get caught the way they did, it shouldn't happen.
Bolton have been in the final of this competition back in '95. They've been to this stadium in a playoff final. Now Boateng loses out. Doriva finds Zenden, and Zenden in turn finds Job. And it's hit all the way back by Bolton Wanderers player to Jussi Jääskeläinen. Southgate it is with the foul. Well, I thought it was a foul by Gareth Southgate, but our referee Mike Riley gave the benefit of the doubt to the England international. Boro's skipper won this competition back in '96. Job underneath that one, but it will go through to Jääskeläinen again.
They've got to push bodies forward, Bolton, as simple as that. I know it's very, very early in the game, I mean, but they've still got to, and I think what you'll see now is Kevin Davis, who normally plays up front there in his own, just getting a free kick for that challenge there with Woodrow, but I think Nolan's going to push right up alongside him, and Djorkaeff's looking to play in a more advanced position as well.
Once again, Bolton take up what looks like an offside decision. Kevin Nolan, he then runs back as the free kick comes in. Out as far as Mendieta, and the flag up against Emerson Thome. It's obviously a tactic. I've seen Sam Allardyce use it in the Premiership, where they put players standing in offside positions who run back.
He used it a few games ago in the Premiership at Leicester City, and it was very controversial and much talked about, but I don't really know about the offside decision that he's given there against Bolton Wanderers. But it's certainly controversial, and it's something even the pros, managers, coaches can't quite get to grips with, and certainly the fans can't.
Gotti. Djorkaeff leaves it for Okocha. Okocha now has found Simon Charlton. Some appeals for a handball, but the ball runs away with George Boateng. Here's Joseph Job, and now Mendieta. Mills his ball forward. Well, it's interesting, I'm just watching out of your picture. The Bolton Wanderers bench are talking to our fourth official, Michael Jones. Whether it's to try and clarify this offside ruling, I don't know, but it's Ivan Campo now in possession. Hunt made a decent looking run for him. Djorkaeff. Franson. It's forward by Thome. Now a chance for Nolan on the chase.
Yeah, no frills there from Gareth Southgate. Now I think that's what's needed with the Middlesbrough back four now. Just be positive, keep your concentration, don't concede goals, you win the cup.
So the Bolton Wanderers throw in.
A long one as well. Hurls a long ball into the box here, Okocha.
He's going to launch one. Header was out by Kadru. Juninho got half a head on it, away this time by Southgate, only as far as Hunt once more, and Zenden chasing him. Here's Thome. And Okocha again, four white shirts in the middle. And Okocha can't find any of them. He, for many people, is Bolton Wanderers' key man. He scored some great goals in their semi-final victory over Aston Villa. That was a game that saw some early goals and finished up 5-4 in aggregate over the two legs.
I'm sitting here, Michael, and I must admit, I'm gobsmacked. I'm just looking up at that clock, and it's 17.5 minutes showing.
And we've got two. I know. I'm doing the same thing. And Gotti. Here's Djorkaeff. Charlton. Davis goes on the chase. Charlton it was that wins the second ball in towards Nolan, but cut out by Boateng. Still George Boateng wins the free kick. Well, George Boateng, I think, was trying to play the advantage because he did eventually come away with the ball.
It's a fabulous stadium. I'm mightily impressed, and I'm sure all the Middlesbrough fans that have travelled down from Teesside today, and a lot of other places as well, I mean, really impressed with this stadium. Got an absolutely fantastic atmosphere. It really is splendid.
Opened in 1999 at the Millennium Stadium on the site of the old Cardiff Arms Park, as Charlton plays the ball in. Davies couldn't collect it, and it's away by Southgate, and now Bolo Zenden, and it's Zenden's ball which has found Juninho in some space. Mendieta and Job in the middle, if Juninho can find one of them. And it was just sliced over Jussi Jääskeläinen's goal by Emerson Tolm, and that will be a Middlesbrough corner.
I tell you, he's mighty pleased to see this one go over the bar as well. It's a lovely little ball again in behind Simon Charlton for Juninho to pounce on. Looks up, whips it across the 6-yard area. Tom's got to defend it, but he shins it right over the crossbar. Just as easily could end it up in the back of the net. Oh, my goodness.
72,000 the capacity for this game. The largest stadium in the world with a retractable roof, and Middlesbrough have the corner kick. A whole posse of players there in and around Jussi Jääskeläinen. Mike Riley trying to get instructions to them. Job came short, and it's going to be a Bolton Wanderers free kick.
He's obviously seen quite a lot in the penalty boxes for corner kicks against Middlesbrough, and corner kicks for as well, because he's blew up for an awful lot. Mainly for offside decisions, I might add. I think that one was an illegitimate challenge.
Zenden. Hunt's going on the chase with Zenden again. Kedru brings the ball away. Here's Juninho. And now Juninho again, just got the rub of the green against Bruno Ngotti. Juninho tried to thread the ball into Joseph Job, but Tome did enough.
Oh, if he only looks up, Michael, he'd Mendieta to the outside on the right-hand side. Danny Mills had made a great run down the right, and it would have put us in a great position. Chose the wrong option there, the little Brazilian.
Now Bolton bring the ball away with Kevin Nolan in towards Davies now, just trying to get ahead of Southgate, looking for some support, went on his own, and Bolton Wanderers have scored. Kevin Davies has got one back after a mistake by Mark Schwarzer. It looked a harmless enough shot across the face of the goal, but within 21 minutes, Bolton Wanderers have one back in the Carling Cup final.
Oh, what a cruel game this is. If Juninho gives it away in the first place on the touchline here, they break forward. Now, there's no real danger. Good turn here by Davis, corner of the 18-yard. On you go, have a shot if you want one. And an almighty clanger by Mark Schwarzer. My goodness gracious me. A game that Middlesbrough are cruising along. To be fair, it skips up a bit just before it gets there. Little bobble here. But oh my goodness, Mark. Great goalkeeper. What a time to make a mistake like that.
Kevin Davies has played in 4 of Bolton's games on the way to the final. Has scored past Mark Schwarzer, who's been ever present for Middlesbrough in this Carling Cup run and was such a hero in the earlier rounds in the penalty shootouts.
I'll tell you, he needs to really show strength of character now. It's important that if he can get that out of your mind, Mark, just concentrate on the job in hand.
Mendieta. We've had 3 goals in 21 minutes. Middlesbrough are still ahead with Ivan Campo trying to play Nicky Hunt in. Hunt, and it was behind Nolan. One back by Boateng, and it's going to be a Middlesbrough free kick. Nolan was down, and now players getting involved. Fransson it was, trying to dish out his own retribution to George Boateng there, who'd made the initial challenge on Kevin Nolan. And suddenly the referee and all his assistants are involved. Getting
a little bit heated now, a little bit of with Fransson and George Boateng. Temper's a bit frayed, obviously. You know, you're at a moment in the game. He's booking them. He's going to book them both. I can't imagine for a minute they get a red card, but the initial foul on Kevin Nolan. Franson broke away with the ball. Boateng challenge. The game's on edge. We've just had a Bolton Wanderers goal there, and everybody's a little bit edgy.
Yellow card.
Yellow card. I think probably right
as well.
Yeah, probably right decision. Well, definitely right decision by Mike Riley. Just stamp this out here and now. He wins a tackle there and a little bit of a.
So George Boateng goes into the referee's notebook.
Yeah, and I think I would expect a coach is going to have something to do with this free kick. He normally hits them for this sort of distance. I've seen Campo hit them as well, but I'd imagine it would be a coach. It's his speciality. I think he scored 3 in the Premiership this year for free kicks outside the box. But oh my goodness gracious me, poor Mark Schwarzer, but Mark, just concentrate in your game, sir.
Suddenly the Bolton fans sat around us are a lot noisier. Mark Schwarzer now has to be alert to whatever Bolton Wanderers can conjure up from this free kick. Nolan, meanwhile, out of your picture, is off receiving some treatment. Okocha and Djorkaeff are standing there. It'll be Okocha who hits it, and it's on the roof of the net. On the roof of the net by JJ Okocha.
That's a decent effort, but I was never worried about it at any time. I always thought it was a bit high. Obviously it's dipping a little bit, but maybe at the Bolton end they thought that was a bit closer than what it was. But it's a fair bit over. Good technique, decent free kick, but never really troubled Mark Schwarzer. I didn't think so anyway. But what an amazing game. And we've had a penalty kick like I've never seen in my life before. Zenden looked as if he double kicked the ball. A horrendous goalkeeping blunder. A goal in the first seconds of the first minute or two of the game. My goodness, what a game this is.
Well, this game is going around the world, and it's a wonderful advert for English football with 2 English managers going head to head, which is unusual, of course, in the Premiership these days. Competition started back in 1960-61 season. Aston Villa won the first ever one. Moved to Wembley in 67. The first Cardiff final was 2001. Went to a penalty shootout and Liverpool beat Birmingham City. We could go to penalties. An extra time today, of course. Here's Mendieta trying to play the ball through to Juninho. Tom it is that's racing back and plays it back to Jääskeläinen. Mills. Here's Campo. To Okocha. Djorkaeff gives possession back to Middlesbrough. It's with Juninho, just 2 against 2 for a moment. Boateng to Zenden. A free kick to Middlesbrough. Cowboy Kevin Davies on Bolo Zenden. Well, we knew there was going to be some drama.
They never make life easy for us, do they, Michael? 26 minutes gone and 2-1.
There always is when Boro are in cup finals. 2 minutes away from winning this competition back in '97. Here's Mills, and it's Mills having a go. It's into the Bolton Wanderers fans behind. You see Jääskeläinen's goal, though.
I think it's quite right to have a go there, Danny Mills. He's only 20 yards out. The ball's setting up a bit, and I'll tell you what, he strikes it well, but it's over the crossbar.
Here's the penalty again, I think.
Yeah, that's clumsy challenge by Emerson Tom on Joseph Job. Now watch this here, Michael.
Oh,
that's left foot off right foot. I mean,
is that legal? It counted.
Well, off Jääskeläinen. Hit 3 feet that one on the way into the net. Not often you can say that about a penalty kick.
It was reminiscent of Beckham's one for England against Turkey, wasn't it, when he fell and put it about 20 yards over. Fortunately for Boro, it ended up in the back of the net.
That's just quieting down the Boro fans, that real shot, and they're getting back up. They're getting back at the Bolton fans now, because the Bolton fans and good voice there, obviously, back in this game, and it looked as if, well, Middlesbrough 2-0 up, might go on to score even more and get back into the game with a Mark Schwarzer goalkeeping error. when really Kevin Davies wasn't on. Well, you're encouraging him to shoot for the position he was in.
Campo from Real Madrid, Mallorca, Valencia and Alaves player. 28 minutes played. Header out by Kidru to Campo again. Back in towards Nolan. Might still full. Franson has a go. It's come off the post. That's a great save by Mark Schwarzer. That was a really, really good stop, and you can see what it means to him and his teammates. Franson nearly made it 2-2.
Oh, well done, Mark Schwarzer, because this, for where I'm sitting, looks as though it's going to end up in the back of the net. It's bouncing about all over the place. Franson gets a... I'll tell you, Schwarzer got a tip to the first one, I'm sure he did, to put that onto the post. If he did, it's a sensational save.
Great
and
save.
It was. And what about the double save here? Absolutely fantastic. That has made up for the first mistake. Well done, Mark Schwarzer.
Well, it was Djorkaeff who had the follow-up. Mark Schwarzer blocked not once, but twice.
He's tipped that onto the post. I thought that just had went Franson off his foot and hit the post. It's actually a fabulous save and a fabulous double save, getting the rebound for Djorkaeff as well.
Charlton launches the free kick forward. Ehiog with the header. Comes out as far as a Kocher. Now Emerson Thome. Lost it to Dorivar. Two Brazilians battling together. Three Brazilians on the pitch, of course. We hardly have time to draw our breath in the first half an hour of this game. It's had everything. Kidru with the throw-in. Job was underneath it, away by Thome this time. Boateng and Okocha rise together. Forward towards Kevin Davis. Good challenges by Boateng and Southgate. Campo thought he was looking to go back to his goalkeeper. Instead he finds Bruno Ngotti, who of course scored against Boro earlier in the season at the Reebok. Okocha can't reach that one. Mills does, and it's his ball forward.
I think Juninho just saying to Danny Mills there, look, get your foot in it, Danny, let's start playing a little bit. You had Boateng and Mendieta just in front of you. Don't get too panicky too early in the game. Just get on the ball, start knocking it around, start playing the way we were earlier in this game, because it's Bolton that are in the ascendancy just now.
Boro really need to weather this storm now with less than a quarter of an hour to half-time. Ehiog towards Job, and Job and Campo now go on the chase. Campo eventually gets the ball back to Jääskeläinen. He rather fluffs his kick, and it might fall for Zenden. Hunt underneath that one as well. Here is Nicky Hunt. And that will be a foul. There's a foul on Kevin Davies by Gareth Southgate. Davies has signed a one-year deal in the summer. Played against Boro in a cup semi-final in '97 for Chesterfield, of course. Don't we remember that game?
He didn't half play well as well, Michael. He was Chesterfield's star performer. He was hugely instrumental in Chesterfield reaching the semi-final in the first place. It could quite easily have been instrumental in Boro getting knocked out that day. Of course, went after a replay.
He was underneath that one as well. Here's a chance. It's gone right across the face of the goal. Jure Djorkaeff had the shot. Nolan was there as well.
Oh my goodness, it's just a free kick thrown into the back post. Knocked down, lands at Djorkaeff's feet. He doesn't really strike it well, but oh, not that far away. Just drifts past Mark Schwarzer's right-hand post. That was close. Corner
kick. I think it came off Kidru actually. Djorkaeff will take it for Bolton. And the referee blows the whistle for more pushing and shoving in the penalty area. And now Mike Riley is insisting that likes of Kevin Nolan there and Danny Mills.
Yeah,
having a discussion.
Yeah, just a bit argy-bargy in the 6-yard area just now. You know, one player trying to upset the other and vice versa. And there's a few players starting to push and shove, and you get that pretty often. Mike Riley just trying to sort it out. I think Kevin Nolan's trying to intimate that Danny Mills stood in his foot there. So that's where I think that's where the argument started.
It's been taken now, and it's a Kocher, blocked by Doriva. Came out a long way, blocked that time by Kidru. Nearly fell for Campo. Might fall for Djorkaeff. Another great save. Another excellent save from Mark Schwarzer from Jure Djorkaeff. More than made up for the errors now. Here's Zenden. Boateng in some space, but Charlton came in with the interception. Here's Djorkaeff, who had that chance a few moments ago.
I'll tell you what, Michael, Bolton should be drawing this game now. They should be right back in this game, and the reason they're not is Mark Schwarzer's goalkeeping. It's another fantastic save, again from Djorkaeff. Campo at the back post, it just drifts across the box, doesn't get cleared properly, hits it through Danny Mills' legs, so he sees it late for a start, but dives to his left. What a save that is. A couple of fantastic saves Mark Schwarzer's had.
He has made a succession of excellent blocks in this game. The latest one from Jure Djorkaeff. Won by Ngozi. Kidru's header finds Mills, and Mills sends it back to the goalkeeper. Mendieta and Charlton, one back by Boateng. Here's Bruno Ngozi now. Can't go back to his goalkeeper. Finds Charlton, the former Birmingham City and Huddersfield player. He in turn tries to find Kevin Nolan. Davies came across as well, and it was away by Ehio. It's Bolton who are the better team right now.
I don't think there's any question about that. You know, it's just, well, you're maybe even looking at 11 minutes to half-time, just keeping it 2-1 to half-time, and maybe let Steve McLaren have a word with him going in at half-time, because he can't be pleased the way things are going at this moment in time. As I said, it's a Mark Schwarzer blunder that's helped Bolton back into this game, but it's three fantastic saves from Mark Schwarzer that's kept this Boro in front.
Throw in for Bolton. JJ Kocher launches it long again. Mills it is that won the header, and Kidru.
My goodness gracious.
Well,
fair composure, I would say there, Michael. He's a bit more composed than you and I were sitting here, that's for sure.
my heart was in my mouth, I couldn't get the words out. Charlton wins the header. Thomas ball away. Davies underneath it. Franson to Djorkaeff. Nicky Hunt for Bolton Wanderers now had some space. On the right hand side, it was blocked by Kidru. Another throw in. Hunt it is to a Kocher. Goes down, no foul given. Kidru first just touch, found Boateng. Here's Mendieta, and he couldn't find Boateng with the return ball. Maybe he'll have another opportunity now. Jobs made a really good run. Juninho was being shoved about. It's Joseph Job through the middle now. Boateng in some space here. It's with George Boateng. Touches it back towards Mendieta. What a chance for Gaeta Mendieta. What a chance initially for George Boateng, who's never scored a senior goal for Boro.
He's just trying to set it up here. It's a good ball through to Joseph Job here. Emerson Tong gets dragged to left, knocks it into Boateng. He comes inside, looks as if he's trying to hit it with his left foot, falls to Mendieta 20 yards out, hits it left-footed, which isn't his strongest foot, miles over the crossbar, but it's got to go down as a little chance.
Djorkaeff playing his first English Cup final. Boateng finds Juninho, and now Joseph Job through the middle. Nicky Hunter is chasing back, but it's Juninho who just got ahead of him. Seemed to me to be tugged back, Joseph Job, but the referee waved away the appeals.
Well, I'll tell you what, that is a penalty kick. Nicky Hunt has pulled Joseph Job jersey there. There's no question in my mind. Let's see it here. Am I right? Am I wrong? I mean, that is a penalty kick, for goodness sake, Mike Riley. What's he playing it? He's pulled him left hand over his shoulder. He's pulled him back, stopped Joseph Job getting to the ball. Now, if he thought he'd made any mistake with the Emerson Tome one, he's made up for it there, that's for sure.
Well, Middlesbrough in the last 3 or 4 minutes have started playing again, though. That's the good news.
I tell you, every time they look at the attack Bolton, they look as if they'll score a goal. Obviously, since the first 10 minutes, we haven't attacked too much, but when we do get into the last third of the pitch, we're causing Bolton Wanderers all sorts of problems.
And Gotti then with the free kick. Schwarzer comes a long way. Ehiog with the header. Zenden comes out to Campo. One back by Mendieta. Campo trying to win it back, but now Mendieta brings the ball away for Middlesbrough, looking to make the counter-attack. Well, Campo's rugby tackled him to the ground. I know it's Cardiff and we're in Welsh rugby territory.
Well, I mean, that is cynical. I mean, as I sending off, no, I've got to say no, but it really is a cynical bit of football, this. I mean, but Mark Schwarzer at the other end again. Oh, well, listen, you're right, Michael, that's a rugby tackle, well suited to this stadium. But Mark Schwarzer again, my goodness gracious. He's having one peculiar day in that goal, Middlesbrough goalmouth. Come up for the free kick there and let it slip out his hands.
Yellow card for Campo in amongst all of that. Mills with the header back across the face of the goal. Juninho lost out to Ngotti, who found a Kocher. So Kocher's ball forward, which Ehiog will chase there with Kevin Davies. But it's going to be a Bolton Wanderers free kick. Mike Riley had blown his whistle for an earlier infringement.
Oh, Mark Schwarzer, Michael, I mean, he's just having one peculiar day. You look at it here, the free kick coming in. It's Marks, he's up above everybody, lets it slip out his hands. Davis flicks it on, Ehiog clears it.
Well, against Newcastle 8 days ago, it was Ehiog's error with Mark Schwarzer, which gave Newcastle United a goal. Ehiog just saved his goalkeeper on that occasion. Bolton Wanderers, though, have another free kick now.
Yeah, a little foul Zenden on Nicky Hunt. I don't know whether he was Zenden was upset with the penalty decision not going Middlesbrough's way. It certainly was a penalty, but it's a free kick to Bolton now.
Jokev whips it in, out by Southgate. Jokev again. Here's Simon Charlton. Don't look confident at the back, Bolton Wanderers at the moment. Blocked by Boateng. Having said that, Middlesbrough look like they could concede as well in passages of this game. Chances are plenty at both ends. Here's a Kocher. Here's Nolan. Franson trying to win it back, and in turn finds Emerson Tom. Here's Nicky Hunt. Bruno Ngotti. Well, just over 4 minutes to the half-time interval. Boro will go back into the north dressing room as the ball goes forward. Cut out there by Kidru, trying to find Juninho with it. And Ngotti it is coming over to make the challenge. Middlesbrough foul, Middlesbrough free kick. Tried to play it quickly, but Mendieta.
I think it was worth taking the quick free kick, Michael. Zenden just looked up, seen Mendieta getting into a forward position. We've gave it away, and now we've got Simon Charlton come down this left-hand side for Bolton.
Here's JJ Kocher again. Finds Nicky Hunt. The Boro able to bring the ball away after Davies' dummy allowed it to run. Mendieta just tried to thread it through to Job. Here's Ivan Campo, who goes down now under the challenge of Zenden. Well, it looked like a late challenge from here by Bolo Zenden, but Ivan Campo.
Well, let's have a look at this, Michael. I mean, his Campo's on the ball. Yeah, he's a little bit late, just catches him with his left foot. It's a free kick, there's no question, but you know, not a lot in it, was there?
Southgate and Kidru underneath that one. Mills with the header away. Might still fall for Bolton Wanderers. Nolan on the turn, away this time by Boateng. And there's a Bolton Wanderers player, as you can see, Nolan down. I think he was caught, maybe was it the boot of Boateng on the head. I think he's given the thumbs up signal that he's all right there.
I'm not sure. I don't see any blood, but certainly Kevin Davis is causing us plenty of problems with aerial duels inside that penalty box, and he just get caught in the head there, Kevin.
It was Ugo Ehiogu, actually, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was obviously accidental. He's had a great season, Kevin Nolan, and I'm sure he'll be able to continue after this. I don't see any blood. He doesn't appear to have any concussions, so. Well, Sam Allardyce, what must be going through his mind, Michael? My goodness, it looks as if 2-0, going to be 3-0, 4-0 the way Bolton had started. They're back in the game, and Matt Swartz has made a couple of great saves to stop them. Been level in this game, or even in front.
Steve McLaren and his number 2, Steve Harrison. Steve Harrison, of course, the former Villa first-team coach. Both of those men with England experience will be getting their team talk together now for the half-time interval, which is, by my watch, less than a minute and a half away. Nolan wants to rejoin play. Jääskeläinen's had a lot quieter game than Mark Schwarzer, but conceded twice as many goals. Nolan couldn't take the ball with him as he pirouetted there. Zenden does. It's with Joseph Job, tried the back flip to Juninho. Okocha. Here's Franson. Trying to find Nicky Hunt. Ball goes in towards Djorkaeff, now cut out by Mills. Hansen again. Here's a JJ Okocha. Had a go himself. Good save again, and he held on to it as well. She needed to do because Nolan was looming.
Yeah, that was an important piece of handling for Matt Swartz. You don't expect him to get beat from here, certainly not the way JJ Okocha hit that, but there's the potential there, as we've seen already when Kevin Davis hit his. It was nice that Matt Swartz got a nice safe pair of hands on that one.
Such an attacking looking line, Bolton Wanderers. Djorkaeff, Okocha, Nolan and Davis forward as well. Cut out by Ehiogu. Here is Okocha against Boateng. There's Doriva. Into Juninho. Juninho goes down under the challenge of Nicky Hunt. We have a minimum of 3 minute stoppages then at the end of this first half, and what a first half it's been. There'll be some summing up to do as these players wander off.
Absolutely flew past this half. Absolutely flew past. It's been terrific entertainment.
Doriva to Kederu. His ball in towards Mendieta. It's going to be a goal kick. Simon Charlton. That's going to be a Middlesbrough free kick this time. With all the drama and all the excitement and everything in this first half, we have to remember Middlesbrough are still 2-1 up. We're still ahead in this game.
Oh yes, and I hope once this half-time whistle blows, which, well, surely we're not going to get another one before half-time, but once this half-time whistle blows and Middlesbrough are going to go in 2-1 to the good, they've got to remember that and come out in a positive frame of mind in the second half. And know that if you do get at this in Bolton back four, you're going to get a bit of joy because they haven't defended at all well. And I think Steve McLaren will be at pains to point out to his own defenders, look, we've got to handle Kevin Davis a little bit better than we're doing, especially in aerial confrontations with free kicks, etc., coming into the penalty box.
Charlton. Kocher keeps it in play, but Mills it is that picks it up for Middlesbrough. Here's Mendieta. And the ball is out of play. Here's Djorkaeff taking on Mills, and that's going to be Middlesbrough throw-in. Sam Allardyce is now in the dugout for Bolton Wanderers, having been in the director's box for the early stages of this game.
Mills just beating Djorkaeff there. He could easily have been walking in at half-time, the Bolton hero of the first half.
Jääskeläinen's ball forward. Davies underneath it. Header was out by Ehiogu. There's Doriva. And that will be a Middlesbrough free kick this time. Well, he missed out on the FA Cup final with Southampton last season. Thought he was going to be involved, but didn't even get a place on the bench. It was cup final heartbreak last May. Will it be cup final heartbreak this February? Dorivar has pulled forward, and there is the half-time whistle at the Millennium Stadium, Cardiff. That man, Mark Schwarzer, has been at the centre of most of the drama of this first 45 minutes, and what a first 45 minutes it was. Emerson Thome gave a penalty away, which Bolo Zenden converted, which put Middlesbrough 2-0 up within 7 minutes. Kevin Davies got one back. Gordon McQueen has been watching this one alongside us, and well, it's set up for an excellent second half, isn't it?
Well, I'm just watching Mark Schwarzer get off the pitch there, and he's been the worst player in the part and the best player in the part, if you can work that out. He's made an almighty blunder for Kevin Davies' goal, but he bounced back brilliantly with 3 absolutely top-door saves. Joseph Job going off the pitch here. Anytime he's got the ball up front, he's troubled the Bolton defence.
Half-time then at the Millennium Stadium, Cardiff. It's Middlesbrough 2, Bolton Wanderers 1. Gordon McQueen is still alongside us for the second half.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind a start like we had in the first half, Michael. That would go down quite well. I thought it was significant at half-time. Paul Barron stayed out with Mark Schwarzer. I just gave him a little bit more handling, try to get Mark to settle down a bit, because he didn't commit 1 or 2 handling errors in the first half. One that cost us dearly and one that nearly.
Job onto Juninho, has Mendieta outside of him as well. Here is Mendieta, and it's Mendieta who's had a go, and it's just drifted wide of Jussi Jääskeläinen's goal from Gaika Mendieta.
I'm not sure what he was trying there, Mendieta. Was he trying to chip Jääskeläinen at the back post, or was he knocking it over to the back post for Joseph Job? I'm not quite sure whether it was a shot or a cross. I think probably a cross.
Kocha. Found Nicky Hunt. The ball in towards Djurkaeff. There's Simon Charlton. There's Charlton's cross that was blocked by Mendieta. Charlton gets the ball in again, away by Mills this time. Charlton might have a third go at it. Here's Kevin Davies. Still Davies. And the Middlesbrough defence allow that one to go behind for a goal kick.
He's a player that Middlesbrough need to mark very, very tightly indeed this half. I thought he was terrific for Bolton in the first half, and he gave Hugo Eggio and Southgate, he played the Southgate side of the pitch more than Eggio's, and he cost him all sorts of bother in the first half.
This is just the third game on this newly relayed Millennium Stadium pitch. There's been Welsh rugby and a Welsh football international since it was laid at the beginning of the month. It's in fine condition at the moment. Southgate with the header, Dorivar with the header on towards Job, but possession given away to Campo. And here's Emerson Thome. It's not been quite as explosive in the first 2 minutes of this half. I don't think it was ever going to be. Bruno Ngotti now. And Charlton. In towards the Kocha. Watched all the way there by Boateng. Ball into Franson. It's Mendieta who's challenging back and won the ball back for Middlesbrough. Simon Charlton won it back though for Bolton Wanderers, and it's JJ Okocha with a cross in. Flag was up against Kevin Davies.
Yeah, and the flag was up very early as well. Whenever that ball come in, and the linesman on this side, Michael, just flag up straight away. Frank Woodrow just pushes out, leaves him in an offside position. Absolutely no doubt about that.
Campo. Ngotti back to the goalkeeper. Southgate was underneath that one, but it's fallen now for Nolan. And Nolan falls over, and it's going to be Middlesbrough free kick. Just a word on the Boro subs on the bench, by the way. Bradley Jones, Chris Rigger, Michael Ricketts, former Bolton player. That would be some story, wouldn't it? Massimo Macaroni and Stuart Downing, the Pallister Park teenager. Sam Allardyce has got Kevin Paul, Anthony Barnett, Stelios, Henrik Pedersen and Harvey Moreno on his bench. Charlton to Djurkaeff. Djorkaeff has gone past Mills and Boateng, and still Yuri Djorkaeff continues to go. Ball through the middle, and it was well read by Frank Kidroux. And an excellent pass by Kidroux to find Zenden as well. Boro look to make the counter-attack. Zenden wins that back off Ngotti. Here's a Kocha. And here's Davies. Still going. Goes down. No penalty kick. The referee waved away the appeals. There weren't many appeals from Bolton's players, has to be said. Fair amount of appeals from the 30,000 Bolton fans. Juninho in towards Mendieta. Now Mendieta goes down. Ngotti and Mendieta clashing now. The referee's trying to just calm things down in that situation.
I'm not sure. I think there's a bit of instruction involved here with Mendieta and Gota, and I think it's Deriva at the other end when Kevin Davis comes into the box here. Walks his last one player, and Deriva goes in and puts his leg across his body, but I don't see a penalty kick there, and it's eventually Gareth Southgate that clears the danger.
Ehiog's head up, and Ehiog wins the free kick for Middlesbrough. These two sides have clashed 100 times in their history. Bolton have won 47. So we'll just see this challenge again.
I think Kevin Davis is a bit hard done by here. I mean, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. In fact, maybe Ehiog gets fouling Davis, but he's certainly been a handful the whole game.
Boro have won 33 and there's been 25 draws. It can't be drawn today. There has to be a winner. One of these teams will be taking the Football League trophy back up north with them. It's Juninho now for Middlesbrough, trying to find Job, who went down. Mendieta was there as well. Franssons with the challenge, and Simon Charlton clears it as far as Yuri Djorkaeff. Davies tried to touch the ball on. Here's Southgate. Under a little bit of pressure from Okocha, but he clears. Joseph Job was in an offside position. Emerson Tome now. Comes ball in, Mills underneath it with Ehiog. There's Fransson and Dorivar. Back to Term, former Sheffield Wednesday, Chelsea and Sunderland player. Zenden and now Kidroux. And Kidroux was trying to hit the roof with that one. Charlton misses his header. Mendieta doesn't, but Charlton did enough to recover. Here's Joseph Job. He's got away from Campo now. Zenden's in some space. So is Mendieta. This is a really good chance. Oh, what a save. What an excellent save, I think, from Jussi Jääskeläinen. Well, it's been given a goal kick. Looked to me like a save here.
And I tell you what, even although great work by Joseph Job, and he plays Mendieta in here. Mendieta square it for Zenden, and it's a goal. He should do better with the ability he's got there. That's pure technique by Mendieta. I never thought I'd hear myself saying that.
Now, at the other end, Davies it is that hits the ball in. Here's Boateng. Clears it as far as Juninho. The second half is as exciting as the first.
I just believe there's more goals in this Middlesbrough side today, Michael. I know we've been under a lot of pressure from Bolton since the early stages of the game, but every time we attract, Bolton are at 6s and 7s, and Gotti and Emerson just are not playing well individually and are not playing well as a partnership.
Boateng. Found Mendieta now, had that chance a few moments ago. He was appealing for the corner kick. It looked it to me, but the referee's the man that matters. Here's Juninho in towards Joseph Job. The ball goes right along the Bolton back four. Job has eventually dug the ball out to Dorivar, and now Kidroux. Zenden. Dorivar again, floated in towards Mendieta. Charlton with the header out. Mendieta on the volley, and Mendieta again.
Oh. Well, it's difficult ones to take. First one with the left foot, comes off a defender, falls to his right, hits it there. He's maybe better hitting that across the 6-yard area rather than go for goal, but difficult take.
Now JJ Okocha for Bolton Wanderers as they look to get back on terms. Nolan away by Southgate.
Well, certainly end to end. 1 minute we're attacking, next minute Bolton got to go at attack, and Okocha driving forward there, plays a little ball into Nolan, and Nolan and Davis try to link up there, but Southgate cleared the danger.
Simon Charlton's ball forward. Davies underneath that one. Mills won the header, and away by Kidroux, only as far as Campo. Still Campo goes, and he goes down. Middlesbrough get the free kick. That's the Bolton Wanderers fans you can hear protesting. Will we see it again? Well, there didn't seem to be too much in it for either side, really.
No, really, you'd have thought maybe just wave play on there. I didn't think it was a foul one way or the other.
Well, Bolton haven't won in the last 3 Premiership games ahead of this one. Boro have won 1 of their last 3 at Old Trafford against Manchester United. But the form book, they say, goes out the window in finals. All I do know is it's been a really entertaining game so far, and Boro are ahead. Kidru in towards Zenden, done really well against Nicky Hunt, wins the free kick there. This would be a first trophy for Sam Allardyce. Bruce Rioch was Bolton's manager when they lost in the final to Liverpool in '95. It was a first division side. Zenden, I think, having his shirt and his arm tugged.
Well, it's normally a booking that. They say that's a booking in the Premier League now, but according to Mike Riley, it isn't.
Doriva has a go from distance and it's wide.
I don't know what he's thinking about there, Doriva. He's got 4 players in front of him: Juninho, Joseph Job, Mendieta and Danny Mills, who'd come up on the right-hand side. He tries a shot from 30-odd yards. I don't think he scored a goal from 30-odd yards. Certainly not in his Middlesbrough career, probably not the whole of his career.
Kidru to Campo. Zenden wins it back. Good play by Olo Zenden. Juninho goes down under the challenge of Toe.
Maybe a bit fortunate to get that one there as well. The 2 Brazilians clashing there. I think Emerson Tom was just too strong for Juninho. Not surprisingly, Juninho just bounced off him there. But nevertheless, it's a bit of free kick.
Southgate trying to find Mills, who'd gone forward. Here's Mendieta. Mills again has some support from Juninho amongst others. Mills is cross in. Tom with the header out only as far as Joseph Job, but Job couldn't collect. Well, fairly evenly matched in the first 11 minutes of the second half. Doriva, Boateng and now Southgate, the Boro captain. Juninho.
Actually, just so evenly balanced, this game. I tell you, this game could go anyway, Michael. Anyway.
It's with Jaskalainen. Hjog underneath that one. Campo wins it back though for Bolton. Simon Charlton tries to find a Kocher. And now Jure Djorkaeff with Simon Charlton outside. He wants it to go inside towards Nolan. And Hjog back to Mark Schwarzer. Schwarzer kick towards Joseph Job. Tom didn't know where it was. He recovered though. Just for a moment there, Juninho and Job looked like they might have been 2 against Bruno and Gotti. Simon Charlton again now. Kevin Nolan had made the run forward. Djorkaeff's in the middle, Davies in the middle as well, but it's a challenge by Boateng and then Mendieta.
Oh, Joseph, you don't give the ball away. It's important when you've been under a bit of pressure, like we were there from Bolton Wanderers, that when the ball gets knocked up to your strikers and you're in possession, don't give it away cheaply. Now, Djorkaeff, the French World Cup winner, his ball in, touched back by a Kocher to Franson, hits it against Zenden, comes out as far as Campo. Hunt is in some space here. Campo was trying to find Hunt and it was just too far, but the idea was right there by Ivan Campo. The idea was right. He just tries to play the ball in between Zenden and Frank Drew, but Nicky Hunt's quick, but he's not that quick. But he's certainly a full-back that's made an impression on a lot of people this year, Nicky Hunt, and a player that loves to get forward.
Football League Cup began in 1960-61. The brainchild of Alan Hardaker, who was secretary of the Football League, and the Alan Hardaker Trophy will be presented to the man of the match at the end of this game. Attendances this season 16% up on last year. It's worth £40 million to the game of football, half of which goes to clubs in the Football League. And with the financial trouble some of those clubs are in, it's needed money as Doriva plays the ball in towards Zenden now. Mendieta is crying out for it. Zenden's got ahead of Hunt. And away by Campo.
Oh, he's trying to cut that one back. He does really well, Zen, that he could pass Nicky Hunt in the manner that he did. But he tries to cut it back to the edge of the box for hopefully a Middlesbrough player coming in, but cut out.
Zenden, who scored Boro's second goal on 7 minutes from the penalty spot. His throw-in, Jussi Jääskeläinen comes, Jussi Jääskeläinen collects. 29 in April, 6'3". Played in the 2 semi-final games, but not in the earlier rounds of the Cup. Former Boro keeper Kevin Poole played in the earlier rounds for Bolton Wanderers. He's on the bench today. Here's Juninho. Mendieta outside of him, Job going through the middle. Joseph Job was trying to get on the end of it, but Jääskeläinen was alert. We're approaching an hour played at the Millennium Stadium in the Carling Cup final. Flag had stayed down there for Kevin Davies. Nolan in the middle, Djurkaeff in the middle as well. Header was out by Southgate. Mendieta blocked by Campo, and here's Charlton. Well, Simon Charlton, we were speaking to him on News Extra earlier this week, said Juninho was Middlesbrough's one to watch. He's keeping a very close eye on him there. Now the ball out to Nicky Hunt. The referee's wave play on for the foul against Davis. Free header, and it's blocked by Schwarzer from Nolan. That was a really good chance though for Bolton Wanderers.
Yeah, it was. Great ball in from Nicky Hunt, and a decent header as well, but he just couldn't get the power on it to trouble Mark Schwarzer. I thought the referee was going to stop the game there and book Frank Quadru for the tackle on Kevin Davis. I think Quadru was a little bit fortunate there not to get a yellow card.
Here's a Kocher. Ball in, and it's off the foot of Davis then. Mills has to hurdle the Bolton Wanderers striker. It's away by Ehiog.
They could certainly do with another goal, Middlesbrough, just a little bit of breathing space. This is a bit too close for comfort now. Bolton have showed tremendous character. To be 2-0 down in a cup final after 7 minutes or so, and to come back the way they have has showed tremendous character. They've been a credit. Sam Allardyce's players have been a credit to him.
Here's Juninho now, has Zenden in some space. Job is in the middle. Mendieta wants it at the far post as well. Header was out by Simon Charlton as far as Ivan Campo. Charlton was a free signing by Sam Allardyce. Sam Allardyce, of course, was a former Bolton player. Although he's actually from the Midlands, he came to Bolton age 15. Now Franson in towards Djurkaeff, and Djurkaeff's trying to get ahead of Quadru there, and it's going to be a Bolton Wanderers free kick. Dangerous situation, this one. The foul by Frank Quadru. Is this a Kocher range?
Yes, I don't think there's any doubt about that. Good control there by Djurkaeff, but Frank Quadru just bundles him off the ball a little bit, and it's a free kick. And as you say, Michael, a Kocher range, and we're talking what? I don't know, 28 yards here or something. Certainly a player of Kocher's ability is more than capable of hitting this ball on, getting this ball on target from there. Getting in the back of the net from there, never mind on target.
We saw a free kick, an amazing free kick against Aston Villa in the first leg of the semi-final. Kocher has scored 3 in the run to the Carling Cup final for Bolton Wanderers. Djurkaeff and Campo standing over it as well. And it will be a Kocher who hits it straight into the Boro wall.
Yeah, Wall does its job there, well done.
And Gotti in towards Doriva. Now there's a real chance to counter-attack for Middlesbrough.
Oh my goodness.
Job couldn't find Boateng. Move's not over yet as Zenden's played the ball forward. Flag is up.
We're getting great opportunities to hit Bolton on the counter-attack here. Right from the first minute they've been really poor at defending, and Joseph gave the job away there cheaply. I mentioned him about 5-10 minutes ago that he needs to hold the ball up, get better possession up there, bring a Boro player into the game, and maybe a switcher play would have done the trick there. Juninho and Mendieta both pushing forward.
Substitution then for Bolton Wanderers. Per Franson it is that's off, and Henrik Pedersen makes way, or rather Henrik Pedersen comes on and Per Franson makes way. Pedersen is a attacking option, more attacking than Franson perhaps. Sam Allardyce has to chase the game. Nolan was chasing that ball. It fell nicely for Mendieta. And here is Mills. Now Juninho is chasing this one.
The keeper stayed in his lane.
Keeper has slipped over and he just got there. Well, Jääskeläinen hesitated, I think, expecting maybe a flag to go up. And then he slipped as he did come, but he won the race. Mendieta, and now Job, and Jääskeläinen has grabbed it this time.
Oh, I don't know whether Joseph Job did not fancy a diving header there. I'm not so sure. Maybe Jääskeläinen's strong favourite. Look, a little bit more pace for the wee man. Jääskeläinen couldn't make his mind up. Didn't know whether to stick or twist. They eventually came and cleared it.
This is Simon Charlton getting in an advanced position now for Bolton Wanderers. His cross in. Mark Schwarzer takes it, finds Zenden. The quick throw out into Job. Kadru. Middlesbrough throw-in. Clearly came off the substitute, Pedersen. Now, Michael Ricketts will get a very mixed reception. Former Bolton Wanderers player, of course, Michael Ricketts. He comes on now for Joseph Job, who opened the scoring in 2 minutes for Middlesbrough. But Michael Ricketts, who scored 46 goals for Bolton Wanderers after being signed by Sam Allardyce from Walsall, has a chance now to etch his name into the record books.
Well, he's getting a lot of stick for the Bolton fans, as you can imagine, and the Boro fans, well, the jury's out. Michael Ricketts isn't a bit. They're giving Joseph Job a terrific reception. He goes off here. I think he's just maybe tired in the last 5 or 10 minutes. Gave the ball away once or twice, and of course, I've just mentioned a couple of times how important it is not to do that. But he's played a huge part in Middlesbrough, been 2-1 up already. He's obviously scored the goal, got the penalty for the second goal, and should have had a penalty for a third Middlesbrough goal.
So Michael Ricketts on, Joseph Job off. Michael Ricketts, one of Kevin Nolan's best friends. They now face each other on the football pitch. Ricketts, remember, scored against Bolton Wanderers on the last day of the last Premiership season at the Millennium Stadium to make it very nervy in a match which Bolton Wanderers needed to win to stay in the Premiership. They did win 2-1, but only after Michael Ricketts scared his old club, it has to be said. Will lightning strike twice in Cardiff in the cup final? Now, that was Pedersen, the substitute. .5 minutes remaining on the clock. Bolton's captain, Jay Okocha, launches the throw-in. Header was out by Kadru. Charlton, away again, this time by Southgate. Here's Ngotti, and he gives possession away to Bolo Zenden. It's just 3 against 2 for a moment. Here's Juninho, just looked up to see where his runners were. He's found George Boateng now. Mendieta's through the middle. Zenden's in some space as well, but it was cut out by Okocha, who sliced it towards his own goalkeeper.
Oh, it was such a bad choice of pass with Boateng there. Danny Mills makes a fantastic run down the outside of him. Just have a look up, slide it into Danny Mills' path. Danny whips it across the box, and we've got Boro shirts in support. Chance of a potted goal.
Well, Middlesbrough have had their chances. We've said it in the semi-final stage. Would they be punished for not taking them? Only the next 20-odd minutes will show that. Ricketts with the header on. The song from the North Stand is "Who's That Team They Call the Boro?" Boro fans know what it's like to go to cup finals, and they know what it's like to lose them. And as Gareth Southgate was saying just this week on Boro TV Extra, it's no good being there. You have to come away with a trophy and the winners' medals for it to make it worthwhile.
Both sets of fans have just been a little bit quiet in the last 10 minutes. I said quite simply, they're just captivated by this game and concentrating on the game rather than getting a sing-song going.
Away by Ekiog to Boateng. George Boateng is bringing the ball a long way out. Juninho it is, and Gotti cut it out though, as Ricketts had made a Decent looking run as well. Here's Emerson Tom. Touched onto the substitute Pedersen now. And here is Henrik Pedersen. He's gone himself. And Mark Schwartz is able to collect that one. He's scored a couple of goals in this cup run, Henrik Pedersen. And 6 appearances on the way.
Well, he's not going to score goals with shots like that.
Gotti underneath that one. Header falls to Campo. And here's Nicky Hunt. And here's Pedersen again, the substitute. Zenden was tracking him back. In by Campo. Try to touch it off towards Nolan. But now Boro maybe look to break again. It's with Gaithka Mendieta. Ricketts is through the middle. Juninho's making a really good run as well. Here is Juninho now. He's taken the ball just a little bit wide. And he can't cut the ball back under pressure from Tom.
Yeah, he just gets the ball. He couldn't run directly at the Bolton defence there. And the ball gets played into him here. He's got to run. He's running towards the, well, nearly the corner flag. Checks back. Tries to put a cross in with his left foot, but couldn't get enough on it. Couldn't wrap his foot round it there. Get it to the back post for Mendieta. Just couldn't do it. It's still looking dangerous in the counter-attack, Middlesbrough.
Djorkaeff now. Still Yuri Djorkaeff, but possession given to Frank Kidrow, to Zenden, and now Doriva. Remember, Middlesbrough were 2 minutes away from winning this competition in '97 when Emil Heskey popped up to score for Leicester. So Boro fans know all about late blows as ball comes back in from the substitute. Mills underneath it. Djorkaeff was underneath it. It's going to be a Boro goal kick. Much quieter second half for Mark Schwartz.
Yeah, it's uneventful so far, but compared to, I think it's
he did enough in the first.
Goalkeeping problems in the first half to last him a lifetime. Really incredible goalkeeping in the first half. Obviously, 3 great saves, gave a goal away, nearly made another mistake that led to a goal. It really was quite a remarkable 45 minutes for Big Mark. But it looks to have settled down now, and he showed a lot of character to come back for that early mistake.
Southgate wins the header. Here's Emerson Tom. Now, Pedersen, 28 years old, coming on as a substitute in the Carling Cup final. He's found a Kocher. JJ Kocher runs straight into Doriva, and he found Juninho in turn. Boro defending in numbers and looking to hit Bolton on the break. It's Bolton that have to chase this game. 2-1 down, remember. Now, Michael Ricketts as Ngozi comes across. Ngozi only just got that one, and Simon Charlton just had to clear up afterwards. Forward by a Kocher again. It was over the head of Davis. Djorkaeff was coming in and Ehiod did really well.
Great bit of defending from Big Hugo there.
Now Boateng. Counting 7 white shirts be defending at the moment. Kidrow. And now Bolton have the ball back with Kevin Nolan into Yuri Djorkaeff. Handball.
Yeah, just the temptation was too much for him there. Ball's getting clipped past him. Just a sort of natural reaction, if you like. Djorkaeff putting his hand up and giving a free kick away.
Steve McLaren and Sam Allardyce. What is the thoughts going through their minds as the fourth official Michael Jones just needs to keep them both within their technical areas. Steve McLaren has the opportunity of writing himself into Middlesbrough's history books. We'll need to rewrite that Who's That Team they call the Boro book if things go to plan. Zenden then with the throw-in for Middlesbrough. 17 and a bit minutes remaining to cling on, 2-1 up. Still Bolo Zenden continues to go and he goes down by foul by Djorkaeff then. Juninho took it quickly.
Yeah, but 10 yards nearer the goal than it should have been. I mean, Zenden, is it Mendieta that's going to take this? No, Zenden's going infield, but certainly Zenden's, I think, been really dangerous for Middlesbrough today. I think he's had an excellent game. Maybe
one for Kidrow's left foot. Didn't Michael Ricketts score from similar sort of position against Newcastle United last week? I know it was ruled out and disallowed, but it was a header at that back post.
Yeah.
It's It's going to be Mendieta who takes it. Southgate and Kedru make the darting run in towards the near post, and the goalkeeper had to block it. Mendieta went for goal.
And deliberately so. I think he was hoping to catch Jaskalainen and thinking that he was going to whip the ball over towards the back post to where Ricketts was lurking, trying to sneak it in at the near, but Jaskalainen was alert.
Southgate. Kedru. Now Zenden. Back to Mark Schwarzer. This is Campo. Nicky Hunt's ball just touched on, but there was no one behind Kevin Davies except Danny Mills. Mendieta. He knows what it's like to be a cup winner. He won, of course, with Valencia, went to 2 Champions League finals. He won the Copa del Rey, the Spanish Cup. That's going to be a Boro ball.
This afternoon's attendance, 72,634. 72,634.
This is Mills. Michael Ricketts, it was over his head. Jaskalainen, Route 1, 15 minutes left in the Carling Cup final. Middlesbrough 2, Bolton Wanderers 1. Goals from Job and from Zenden. Hasn't Zenden been scoring some goals recently as Mendieta brings the ball forward?
Oh, brilliant.
Still Mendieta. It's a warm round of applause from the North Stand. Michael Ricketts, it's Ngotti whose header's out. It might still fall for Mendieta. And Mendieta's appealing that it should be a corner kick.
Oh, that looked as if Tom was just going to turn into trouble here. It's a brilliant bit of play by Mendieta. Ball comes in at the back post here, and Ngotti clears it. Oh, Mendieta nearly nicks it off Emerson, Tom. Had he done so, you've got to think Middlesbrough would have been 3-1 up. He'd have been in a great position to score a goal.
That should have been a corner, I think. Certainly came off Emerson Tome last. It's Simon Charlton into JJ Okocha. Bolton Wanderers and Sam Allardyce are trying to make another change at the moment. Javier Moreno, I think it is, that's going to be coming on. The ball comes in, Mills needs to clear it. Nolan it is that's there as well. Mills went to ground but managed to get his clearance away. And now there's a worry for Sam Allardyce as Bolton Wanderers have a player down in the penalty area.
I don't really know what's happened here, Michael.
He was tussling with Mills, wasn't he, initially?
Yeah, he looks in a bit of pain. He looks as if... Yeah, Mills receives a situation and just scoops it away. Oh, and it looks as if Danny Mills is... studs in his right foot have caught Kevin Nolan in his left ankle. Completely accidental, I felt, but a painful one for Kevin Nolan, but one that I would expect he'll get up and continue with. Although there is, as you just mentioned, Michael, Moreno warming up on the Bolton bench. Whether he'll come in for Nolan or not, I don't know. I wouldn't imagine so, because Nolan scored an awful lot of goals for Bolton this year, and I imagine he'd continue.
Well, those are the scenes we're enjoying. 72,634 inside the Millennium Stadium for this. There is Javier Moreno. Bolton fans are the ones that are celebrating. Nolan's off at the moment to receive treatment, is he, as we await the final substitution. Both physios there were on the pitch. Andy Barr, the Bolton Wanderers physio, and Chris Mosley, the physio, of course, from Middlesbrough. And Bolton Wanderers now get to make their substitution. And it will be Javier Moreno who replaces Kevin Nolan. Moreno on loan from Atletico Madrid, a former striker, of course, with AC Milan. It's only his second appearance in the Carling Cup run this year. His previous one was as a substitute. He's never scored for Bolton. To get back on terms, he might need to. Yeah,
he's obviously delighted to get on the pitch, because I'll tell you what, Kevin Nolan wasn't too happy to be leaving it. He was absolutely raging going into the dugout there, kicking the advertising horns, not pleased with his manager at all. And as I said, I'm surprised I've took him off, because he's a player that gets a goal for them, and obviously that's what Bolton need at this moment in time.
Simon Charlton for Bolton Wanderers. His ball in towards Djorkaeff. Header was won by Ehiog, only as far as Campo. Now Kedru Just did enough there. Twice runners-up in this competition, Middlesbrough, 97 and 98, to Leicester and to Chelsea. Well, it's been an exciting weekend for everyone concerned with the club. Middlesbrough's players flew down on Friday. They made an impromptu visit here Friday evening. And here's Moreno now, the substitute, and he still goes. 3 red shirts around him at the moment, and he's had to go right into the corner. And still he tussles with Mills and with Boateng, and Mills it is that clears it, only as far though as J.J. Okocha. It's his ball in, blocked by Echiog, out as far as Mendieta. Okocha and Charlton win the ball back for Bolton. Here is Okocha again. They're throwing everything at it, Bolton Wanderers, and they win a free kick.
Yeah, I think there might have been a bit of jersey pulling, a bit of obstruction with Danny Mills there, and this is obviously something that's concerned Middlesbrough quite a lot in this game, because Bolton have caused them problems for corner kicks and free kicks with the aerial threat, particularly of Kevin Davis, with Campo in there, Emerson, Tom and Gotti. There is a threat here, so it's up to people like Hugo Egiog to be dominant in his box here.
Just over 10 minutes to play as Djorkaeff whips the free kick in. Away by Zenden. I think it was Davies in the end that was going for it.
Zenden was brave there.
He got a boot in the back,
yes, he did. He got a boot in the back for his troubles. It looked as if Kevin Davis was going to try and volley this. I think the ball's sitting up pretty high. Let's see here. Sitting up high, but Zenden throws himself. And, well, Kevin Davis's right boot into the back of Zenden. That looks a rather painful one, but what are we talking about now, Michael? 10 minutes to make history. 10 minutes.
They're biting their fingernails, Bolton Wanderers fans.
I tell you what, I think this is going to be a rather long 10 minutes, Michael.
I keep looking at my clock and I think it's going backwards. Well, Bolo Zenden's receiving some treatment from Chris Mosley. We saw the scenes in the North Stand where the Middlesbrough fans are. That's the scene on the Boro bench. Steve McLaren knows he's less than 10 minutes away from winning Middlesbrough's first trophy. I think he's a Bolton fan. What do you reckon?
He's looking like it. He's looking a little bit concerned anyway.
His girlfriend's giving him a reassuring rub of the arm.
Yeah.
And Zenden's back on his feet. He took a tremendous blow in the back there. Steve Gibson, the Borough chairman, who's put so much time, effort and money into this club. He sat in his club suit in the director's box. What would it mean to Steve Gibson? A man you know well, obviously, Gordon. It would mean everything to him, wouldn't it?
It would, and you can't say he doesn't deserve it.
Absolutely.
He's heart and soul into this club, plus an awful lot of his money. And the reaction when his face came up on the big screen there, the Middlesbrough fans, was fantastic.
Just looking in the North Stand, there's flags which proclaim Gibson around the place. As Gordon McQueen said, there was an almighty roar when his name appeared on the big screen inside this stadium. 93 metres in height at its highest point in the stadium. The roof weighs 8,000 tonnes. It's 15 minutes high and it takes 22 minutes to shut. And it's shut at the moment and it's keeping the Middlesbrough roar in. Tome underneath that one. There's Doriba. This is Juninho and Mendieta. And it's Mendieta's ball in, flag up against Ricketts. Wouldn't have counted. A wry smile from Michael Ricketts. Well, Bolton will need to chase this game. It was spectacular overhead from Boateng.
He's
in. Ricketts. Juninho, flag has stayed down, and Juninho chased by Ngotti. He could win it now, but he's put the ball over Jussi Jääskeläinen's goal.
Ricketts does ever so well here. It's the overhead kick out of defence, comes off a Bolton player into the path of Ricketts. Juninho onside, he just hasn't got the legs to get away for the pacey and powerful Ngotti to get a clear shot at goal, under pressure from the Bolton defender.
Campo. Nicky Hunt now for Bolton. Backs to Campo this time. And he has found Djorkaeff in turn. Kidru is there for Boro. It's whipped in by Nicky Hunt. Players underneath it, away by Southgate. Okocha chases it, so does Mendieta. And Okocha comes away with it. Here's Emerson Tom. And still they don't give up. Pedersen was chasing that one. Here's Moreno, the substitute. Mills tracks him all the way. Charlton it is in support now for Bolton. They're throwing everything at this. Here's Juninho.
Oh, give it earlier, Junie. Don't lose possession there. Mendieta had made a run beyond you. You can't do that. Give your defenders a little bit of breather at the back because they're under an awful lot of pressure just now. Egg-Yog and Southgate are having to defend for their lives. Real backs against the wall.
5.5 minutes, but we've been here before in this competition. Sam Allardyce played at Bolton, played at Sunderland, had spells at Millwall, Coventry and Huddersfield. As Michael Ricketts now looking for some support from Mendieta, has support from Juninho as well. Here is Juninho, and now Boateng joins the attack as well. Boateng tries to thread the ball through, doesn't find its way to Zenden. Nicky Hunt with the interception. Campo battling with Boateng, and that's going to be a Bolton free kick. Bolton Wanderers fans are watching this clock tick down. It's quite evil, isn't it? It ticks down by the second here at the stadium on the scoreboard. Southgate, what an interception that was. Away by Doriva. Bolton players appeal for a free kick. Flag up against Michael Ricketts as he went on the chase. Nicky Hunt is, it's down.
The Bolton player down injured here. He's took a bang in the head. I'm not sure who the collision was with, but when the ball came forward, Ricketts caught in an offside position there, but a lovely bit of work by Ricketts just earlier there. Here's the clash here. Oh, it's Zenden again. He's been in the wars. Maybe getting his own back a little bit there after getting a kick in the back at the last set piece from Kevin Davis.
Free kick to Bolton Wanderers for the offside decision. Bruno Ngotti tried to play it. The referee blew his whistle. Now our fourth official, Michael Jones, having conversation with our referee, Mike Riley.
I really don't know what he's doing there. I can only think it's he's getting aggravation for either Steve McLaren or Sam Allardyce and went away to Mike Riley to report it.
And Gotti's ball forward then. Schwartz has come a long way, gets a fist on it. And Boro have the free kick for an infringement in the box.
I don't think the Bolton players are too happy with this. I don't think they can see anything wrong. I'm not so sure. I think it might have been Emerson Tom that barged into Mark Schwartz here when this ball came into the box.
128 years, don't they know it? Don't they know it? It's 128 years. History which has never seen a trophy. Last throw of the dice from Sam Allardyce. Stelios is coming on. And Nicky Hunt makes way. So Sam Allardyce has used his 3 substitutions.
Well, he's taking the right back off now and putting an attacking player off, the Greek international. Stelios Giannakopoulos and Nicky Hunt, the right back, who's done ever so well for Bolton today. Put some nice deliveries into the Middlesbrough box. But obviously Sam's went for another attacking player and going for the last throw at the dice here to try and retrieve something for this game.
You're watching the Boro match on Boro TV Extra as Juninho continues to go, and still Juninho. Mendieta now, and Mendieta's shot was blocked. Well, what a block it was. Emerson Tom, I think, again.
Absolute brilliance by little Juninho there. I thought he was going to have a little pot himself. It's a great run, picks it up. Got 40 yards for a goal, beats 1, beats 2, beats 3, shoot now. You think the defender's slipping Simon Charlton? Oh, but that's fantastic defending. It looks like Mendieta is just going to slot that past Jaskalainen, and the booty of Bolton defender stops it.
Here's Mendieta, and it's going to be a Boro throw-in. 2 minutes, less than 2 minutes remaining.
I think there's going to be a fair bit of injury time. I'd imagine there was 3 minutes in the first half, and I would think it'd be 3 at least in the second half as well.
Here's Mendieta, and now Zenden. Boro have another throw-in. I think we're going to see 4 minutes of stoppages at the end of this second half, a minimum of 4 minutes. Here's Juninho. Offside. Jussi Jääskeläinen is trying to get things going quickly. Juninho was just trying to delay it, that priceless few seconds. Header was won by Ehiog. Ehiog and Southgate being colossuses at the heart of the Boro defence again so far. We're into the final minute. Bolton throwing everything forward now. Header on by Campo.
Oh, what a block by Yugi Egiog. That looked net bound, that. That is a fantastic bit of defending. The flick on lands at Stelios' feet. He hits it left-footed. Looks like a goal, or certainly testing Mark Schwarzer. And Yugo Egiog comes across and gets a fantastic block in.
Some appeals for a handball from Bolton Wanderers, who are clutching at their straws now, but it's a corner kick from Djorkaeff. Jussi Jääskeläinen is forward. Now though a chance maybe as Juninho brings the ball out. It's with a Kocha. And Jääskeläinen is still in the Middlesbrough half as Mendieta brings the ball clear. And still goes to Mendieta, and he just delayed on it.
He should knock that ball out to Juninho.
And Gotti with the ball in, header out by Ehiog. We have 4 minutes, a minimum of 4 minute stoppages then at the end of this second half of the Carling Cup final. It's Middlesbrough 2, it's Bolton 1. Kedru has threaded a wonderful pass out to Juninho. Here's Michael Ricketts now.
Oh! My goodness.
To the belly of Jussi Jääskeläinen.
Ah, for goodness. 2 passes. Great pass from Kedru. Out to Juninho on the right. Juninho in behind. Great pass to Ricketts. Ricketts cannot supply the finish. What a fairy tale that would have been for Michael Ricketts, the ex-Bolton player. Great chance to finish this game off.
Well, there's a booking just for the tug back there, but this is the one which the Bolton players thought was going to be a handball against Ugo Ehiog.
Wow. Oh, it is. He stopped that with his left hand. My goodness gracious. But I don't know, ball hits hand.
It's a let-off. Ugo Ehiog, the ball hit his hand definitely. Simon Charlton meanwhile picked up a booking for the tug. Ricketts is offside. I think we're going to see another booking now for Michael Ricketts.
Yeah, and he will. And all he'll do now, when you antagonise the referee like that, he's just going to add another 30 seconds onto the game. When the actual instant's only 15.
Jääskeläinen's trying to take the free kick from about 30 yards ahead of where the incident happened. Jääskeläinen launches it forward. Southgate it was. Here's Mendieta now. And Juninho. Mendieta again.
Let's pass it. Good stuff.
This is Doriva. Ball out wide now to George Boateng. There's 3 red shirts crying out for it. George Boateng is just deliberately taking the ball into the corner. Here's Doriva and Boateng again now. Still George Boateng, and he just runs the ball out of play. Neither set of supporters can watch this at the moment. Now Frank Kedru heading for the corner, and still Frank Kedru goes with 2 minutes by my watch to play in this game. That's going to be a Middlesbrough free kick.
Yes, and if they've got any, and I'm sure the experienced players will go over now. Just now, Juninho's end, then Frank Kedru. This will get taken short. This will not get knocked into the box. Try and keep it in the corner.
Here's Juninho. And now Stelios is able to bring the ball away for Bolton Wanderers. Middlesbrough need to concentrate now in this final minute of the game. Still, Stelios continues to go. White shirts racing forward in numbers. It's with Jay Okocha. And Okocha shot straight into the belly of Mark Schwarzer. And hold on to it, Mark.
Just boot it for here to Swansea.
Plays it short to Danny Mills. McLaren is given instructions. Ricketts is chasing this one now with Bruno Ngotti.
Play it into.
And Ngotti just wins the battle.
Oh, what a chance to hold the ball up there, Michael.
Okocha's ball forward again. The whistles are coming from the north stand. It's with Stelios, the Bolton Wanderers substitute. trying to create one last effort. Great tackle, Frank Kidrow.
Now that had to be a good tackle. You're talking about a tired player taking on a fresh player. Stelios tries to get past him in the box. Frank Kidrow times his tackle beautifully.
Campo launches the throw-in. Away by Southgate as far as Juninho. Boro are 2-1 up with seconds remaining in the Carling Cup final, and it's Juninho going through against Bruno Ngotti, and still Juninho goes, and Simon Charlton in the end.
Must be it, must be Mr. Riley. How long? That's it.
There is the final whistle. Middlesbrough are the champions of the Carling Cup 2004. Bolo Zenden's second goal proving so important. You see what it means in the North Stand to the fans. You see what it means to Juninho as well. Frank Kidrow has gone to ground. Mendieta in his first season at the club. 128 years without a trophy. It's finally over. What does it mean for Steve Gibson?
Well, Steve Gibson and Keith Lamb in there in the picture, they've been instrumental in everything that Middlesbrough have done over the last few years. They've worked really hard to get to this. A trophy, first time in their history. Into Europe, first time in their history. Mark Schwarzer there, a relieved man, but at the same time, the same man that saved them. Incredibly think that Mark Schwarzer in the first half was Middlesbrough's worst player, and he was also their best player. Saved the game for Middlesbrough after nearly giving it away. It was fantastic performances for a lot of individuals under extreme pressure near the end. But Egiog, Southgate, and in particular Frank Kidrow and Danny Mills stood strong at the end.
Well, what a moment for Juninho. Lost 2 previous cup finals. Emerson Tom, who gave the penalty away, the former Sunderland player, he's got his hands on the cup already. The North Stand has gone absolutely wild. Steve McLaren has made history, the first ever Middlesbrough manager to take a trophy. For Bolton Wanderers, it's sad, glum faces, not just on the pitch but in the stands as well. We will stay here, of course, on the Boro match on Boro TV Extra to see the trophy presentation made. It's being constructed in the centre of the pitch at the moment. Juninho hugging there, Grant Downey, Gareth Southgate, who won this trophy with Aston Villa, and will now lift it for Middlesbrough as well. He said he was coming here to win medals. He's got his first one. And this could be a launch pad. I hadn't mentioned Europe yet, but we're off to the UEFA Cup.
Well, of course, you're talking about extra revenue that brings in, and plus attracting players to your club. If you're in Europe, it's very, very important. If you're looking at top draw players that want to be playing European football, well, Middlesbrough are now playing European football next season. It's fantastic for Steve Gibson, fantastic for Keith Lamb, fantastic for McLaren, the players, the coaching staff, but most importantly of all, fantastic for these supporters that are creating incredible scenes here, that have been through all this before at Wembley and come back. Heartache once, heartache twice, heartache a third time, fourth time, we've cracked it.
Well, Mark Schwarzer and Juninho embrace. Mark Schwarzer made it a little bit nervy for us for 70 odd minutes of the game, but it doesn't matter now, it doesn't count. Middlesbrough have their hands on the trophy. Middlesbrough have won the Carling Cup for 2004. Middlesbrough have won their first ever domestic piece of silverware and will now embark on a first ever campaign in the UEFA Cup as well. You feel a little bit for the Bolton Wanderers players, as you've said. Boro know what it's like to be in this situation and leave with nothing, but those are the scenes, those are the pictures we're going to be remembering. What it means to those fans, the 30,000 that have made, as we know, a pretty long journey in the snow.
I mean, we're just looking at Danny Mills here, obviously delighted. What a loan move that's turned out for him. Left aside, it's struggling like mad. He could well be playing in the Nationwide next year. They're now picking up a cup final medal with Middlesbrough. Bolton players showed tremendous character, I felt, to be 2-0 down after 7 minutes. To come back the way they did, they could easily get a draw out of this game. This game could have been get into extra time, but fantastic for Middlesbrough.
Well, the players at the moment just waiting on the pitch for the presentation of the Carling Cup, the medals and the Alan Hardaker Man of the Match Award. It will be made by the presentation party. Then he billed this as JJ Okocha's match. Returned from the African nations.
He was quiet, Michael, today, wasn't he? He never had much of an influence on the game. I felt that Middlesbrough throughout always looked dangerous in the counter-attack. and maybe if Gini knew a touch more pace on a couple of occasions, he might have been in front. If Mike Riley gives a penalty when we should have done it, might have been a bit more comfortable to make it 3-1. The Nicky Hunt foul on Joseph Job, and numerous other occasions we were hitting them in the counter-attack. But we've got to remember the saves that Mark Schwarzer made that were hugely crucial in us winning this cup here today.
Well, none of the Boro fans are leaving. I have to tell you, the Bolton Wanderers end is emptying rapidly. Gareth Southgate will be lifting this trophy, that's for certain. And he will be leading his team into Europe next year as well. 30-odd thousand Boro fans here officially. I'm sure there's some other people that have managed to get in by hook or by crook. I was speaking to some fans outside that said they didn't have tickets, but they were going to get in somehow.
Well, the one they're singing about just now, the man that they're singing about now, certainly he's got a ticket right in the middle of the director's box. That's the chairman, Steve Gibson, getting a fantastic reception from the fans now. Great sing-song, chanting Steve Gibson's name. Lovely to hear.
Well, I think we might see the old clenched fist salute here, don't we? There's one, there's two, and there's number 3. Gareth Southgate has been such a great addition to the Middlesbrough side since Steve McLaren brought him to the club for $6.5 million from Aston Villa. A very passionate Englishman who will be trying, of course, to get into the 2004 side for the European Championships. Well, the Boro fans are going nowhere, and you can understand that. Do you think Middlesbrough and do you think Cardiff will be partying in red and white tonight?
I might even have a little shandy myself tonight.
I think I might have one too, Gordon.
And I think there's 30,000 just to our left here behind this goal that have created a fabulous atmosphere here today. I'll be having a little shandy as well tonight. I mean, there's a lot of guys that have been coming to watch Boro for a lot of years, waiting for this moment in time, and it's finally arrived. Terrific, absolutely fabulous.
Mark Schwarzer, been an ever-present in this Carling Cup run. Got to remember not just his contribution this afternoon, but some vital penalty saves in earlier rounds as well. Middlesbrough beat Brighton, Wigan, Everton, Spurs and Arsenal over 2 legs to win this trophy. The presentation stand is being constructed at the moment in the centre of the pitch. I think we're going to see some fireworks as well. We'll be staying right with it on Boro TV Extra on the Boro match. Well, I'm just trying to imagine what the scenes are going to be like back at home as well, because inside the stadium it's been absolutely electric. Bolo Zenden's second goal was so important. Boro, they scored 2 in 7 minutes, and then we'll be biting our fingernails or what?
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think Middlesbrough will be absolutely bouncing just now. I mean, my goodness. The game was so dramatic at times. You know, you go 2-0 in front after 7 minutes or so, and you think, at long last, a trophy, here we go. Maybe another goal, be nice and comfortable, but no, not Middlesbrough Football Club. An absolute howler, I'm afraid, by Mark Schwarzer to let Kevin Davis and Bolton Wanderers back into the game. And Bolton Wanderers put Middlesbrough in a lot of pressure right throughout the game. Middlesbrough still look dangerous in the counter-attack. Look, time and time again, they might get that all-important third goal, which can make us relax a little bit. Another game, Bolton still piling on the pressure. End of the day, who deserved to win? In my opinion, Middlesbrough deserved to win the game. But credit to Bolton to come back. They've been 2-0 down.
That's the presentation party who will give the Carling Cup to Middlesbrough. Mark Hunter is the Marketing and International Development Director for Coors the Brewery. Andy Williamson, the Director of Operations for the Football League. And the young lad you can see there is Thomas Coyle, who is the great-grandson of Alan Hardacre. That's the Man of the Match trophy, named after Alan Hardacre. It was his idea, this trophy. He was the man that came up with the idea. He was backed by the Football League's then president, Sir Joe Richards, and the Football League trophy was born, won of course in '61 by Aston Villa. It's gone through a number of names. It's the Carling Cup this year, and it's the Carling Cup which Middlesbrough have won. And what's going through the players' minds now, the Middlesbrough players' minds?
Well, it's not, there'll be nothing. It's just elation just now. I think it takes a day or two for everything like that to sink in. You know, just what's actually been achieved here today. And it really is a momentous achievement by these players, and of course Steve McLaren. It's historic, it's as simple as that. And I think I said at the start of the game, in 25-30 years time there'll be Middlesbrough fans rattling off the name of the 11 players, or more than 11 players here today that were used, that won that first ever trophy for Middlesbrough Football Club. I mean, it's astonishing to think the last trophy that came back to the North East. You're talking about a hotbed of football, Newcastle, Sunderland, of course Middlesbrough. It's 30 odd years ago when Sunderland beat Leeds United at Wembley, and this is the first team for the North East to win a trophy since then, which is incredible to think.
Well, JJ Okocha leads the Bolton Wanderers team to the presentation party. Just out of your picture, round of applause from the Middlesbrough players. It takes two teams for a great final, and we've had a great final. And Bolton Wanderers and Sam Allardyce's side have played their parts. But today was Middlesbrough's day. Jussi Jääskeläinen, who conceded two in the very early stages of this match, and the medals were actually minted in the Jewellery Quarter in Birmingham.
Well, I know the feeling, Michael. I played in a League Cup final before. I think it was called the Coca-Cola Cup final, and finished up on the losing side to Liverpool when I was at Manchester United. And it's just a completely empty feeling. You'd rather just a helicopter come onto the field just now, jump into it, your stripping boots on, and go home.
Finally, Sam Allardyce collects his trophy. He will have to wait a little bit longer for Bolton Wanderers' first prize since 1958 and his first trophy as the Bolton Wanderers manager. It's a loser's medal this time around. And now the lights have gone out in the Millennium Stadium, as promised, for the finale.
This is just incredible, Michael. What a scene this is. And when the lads go up and get their medals, and Gareth Southgate picks this trophy up, this North End will absolutely take off here at Millennium Stadium. What a sight, absolutely fantastic.
There's red and white ribbons on the Carling Cup. It's in the spotlight as it comes across the Millennium Stadium pitch. A pitch which has seen Boro triumph after 128 years of hurt. It's got its army escort there. Soon it'll be in the very, very safe hands of Gareth Southgate. But what a setting, what an occasion this is for everyone involved in Middlesbrough Football Club. Players come and go, managers come and go. The supporters were always there. And this will mean so much to so many people. That's the prize. That's what they've been playing for. To lift that trophy, to get those hands on that winner's medal. There's the North Stand, and Steve McLaren is leading his side up there in the tracksuit. He gets presented with his winner's medal. 2.5 years as the Boro boss, and he wins the first trophy. And I think now he leaves stage right to let his players take their moment in the sun. Bolo Zenden it is that picks up the Man of the Match award, the Alan Hardaker trophy. It was his goal, of course, that put Boro 2 up. Boro's players will remain on that stand for Gareth Southgate to lift that trophy last of all.
Good choice for Man of the Match, Michael. Excellent choice. Whoever made it, Bolo Zenden. I thought I can't agree more.
Well, look what it means to Doriva. Been in the country a year or so. Stuart Downing, born in Pallister Park. Locally born, come through the ranks. And Steve Gibson is making his way onto the pitch now with Chief Executive Keith Lamb as well. They receive a tremendous reception from the Middlesbrough fans. Chris Riggott, who played so well in the semi-finals, gets his hand on a medal.
And the little man, my goodness gracious. It's wonderful to see a player that I've worked with before, Michael, and as a person, I loved him. As a player, I loved him. And we've seen Steve Gibson come on the pitch here, wonderful.
So this is the moment, the Carling Cup final 2004, and the trophy is Middlesbrough's. Well, the fireworks are going off around us at the Millennium Stadium, Cardiff. That is the scene that we are seeing at the moment. That's the scene in the North Stand as the flags are being raised And that's the victorious team, and that trophy will be passed round now. And every one of those players played their part in what's been a wonderful final and a wonderful occasion.
It's an emotional moment for a lot of people, Michael. You think of people that have been connected with the club for a long, long while. Players like Mark Schwartz and Juninho suffered cup final disappointment before. I thought it was a wonderful picture there when Steve Gibson come on with Keith Lamb at the end of the pitch here, and the photographs come up on the big screen. A wonderful reception for the Middlesbrough fans. It was absolutely fabulous.
Well, these are the pictures we wanted to see. These are the pictures that we've been dreaming about bringing you on Boro TV Extra on the Boro match since we started just over 6 years ago. The pictures of Middlesbrough doing a lap of honour, having won a major trophy. There is Steve Gibson. I bet he's got some grey hairs that have emerged during the course of this afternoon. That says it all. Carling Cup Final 2004. And the champagne is being sprayed because Middlesbrough have won the trophy. Well, we're going to stay with it. We're going to milk every moment of this. And don't forget, all this week, of course, on Boro TV Extra, we will have all the reaction for you on News Extra every weekday evening at 6:05. I've got a pretty good feeling we'll probably be showing this game again a few times as well. And we'll have all the post-match reaction coming up for you shortly too. Well, they said the North Stand and the North dressing room was the lucky end. It's proved lucky for Middlesbrough this afternoon.
Yeah, we're looking at one end, absolutely bouncing and joyous. We're looking at a deserted Bolton Wanderers then. Well, that's cup finals for you. I'm afraid that's the way it works. Dejected Bolton Wanderers players in the dressing room, dejected Bolton fans. But my goodness, we've been through a bit of that. Fabulous pictures here for Steve Gibson.
How many chairmen did this get?
No, I don't think so, but you don't often see him in the public eye, and I think they know what it means to Steve. Absolutely wonderful.
He's got his hand on the trophy, and he's drinking the champagne. Steve Gibson, born in Middlesbrough, invested in his own hometown club, saved it from extinction back in 1986, and less than 20 years later, in 2004, Middlesbrough finally won that trophy. The suit's ruined, mind you.
Yeah, but it's a free suit anyway, it's a cup final suit, so it doesn't matter. And with a pink tie, well, it doesn't really matter about that either. I don't think Steve will be bothered. Oh, there's Keith Lamb getting a bit of champagne, poor Boro. He won't like that, he likes nothing going to waste.
Well, it's Pig Bag, which is echoing around, I was going to say the Riverside, out of habit, the Millennium Stadium, Cardiff. And the Boro players will go now on their well-deserved lap of honour. Those fans made that end their own. Well, I don't think I've seen many more joyous scenes at cup finals than the ones we've seen now. Manchester United, the Liverpools, the Arsenals get to come to these occasions quite regularly, but for Middlesbrough as a club,
it means a lot, and there's idiots in the papers in the week building up to this saying that Bolton, Middlesbrough, not a great final. You try telling that to 30,000 Middlesbrough fans that have made the trip down here today. Absolutely fantastic scene. You see what it means to these supporters that are behind the goals here. They've been through heartache with 3 visits to Wembley.
128 years this club has been in existence.
The Boro players not forgetting the supporters who are just away to the right of the tunnel as we are looking, who that end of the stadium is increasingly deserted from the Bolton fans who made their way back north. But the Boro supporters in that part have been acknowledged as well. It really has been a team effort on and off the pitch to bring the Carling Cup back to Teesside. And Juninho's smile lights up the stadium. But Bernie, I think I've said a number of times, I've described the presentation and all of the atmosphere here. This hasn't been one player's effort, it hasn't been two players' effort. This has been a team, a squad effort.
It's been a squad effort. Each and every one of them have played a major part. They've finally done it. But I'm just looking at Matt Schwarzer a minute ago with the trophy. Delighted for him, because he knows he booked for the opening goal. But I tell you what, he made amends, did a string of fine saves thereafter, and he's still one of the best in the Premiership. You know, there's no doubt in that. But as a team, the star players performed this afternoon. You know, they pulled Bolton about, especially early doors, 2-goal cushion. It could have been many more.
And here we go, because after every victory in the Carling Cup this year, the players have linked arms and they've ran towards, whether it be the new Holgate end or on opposition territory at White Hart Lane, they've ran towards the fans in the penalty area and dived in front of them. This is a dive of glory. We're taking a leap in leap year to a whole new future. And here you go, the players running towards the supporters, away to our left-hand side, and they dive in front of them. I hope somebody's got hold of the cup.
I hope there's no injuries. We'll get a game Wednesday night.
We have against Birmingham. But what a pick-up for that. Yes, there is Premiership games to come, but now you feel Boro's season and future has received lift-off, because we won the Carling Cup 2004. European football beckons, glory beckons for everybody associated with Middlesbrough Football Club, and the party in Teesside will go on long, long into the night. Owen Owen, 477 2000, email simplyred@centralfm.co.uk, text 85102. Back again to Gary if we can touch that area, because Gary, the players want to continue to party on, and they deserve to.
They certainly do. The players don't want to come off, they want to soak every bit of atmosphere up they can. They're now having a great time out there, bless them, and to the fans as well. Not one of them has left. Every single Boro fan still here. They just want to enjoy every single moment. They want to savour it. It is just absolutely fantastic. It's a great atmosphere, and the players are just starting to come off now.
Okay, the Middlesbrough players walking off. Gary, I'll stay with you, because the players are reluctant to go down the tunnel, but they are now, yes?
Yeah, they're starting to come down. George can have a word. No, he won't. George Boateng won't come and have a word with him. He wants to go down and get his champagne.
All right.
They want to get down. We'll catch them later on.
Okay, Gary down there with the players. They're walking off the pitch now. Smiles all around. They're disappearing into the changing room area for no doubt an after-match party. As Gary rightly says, considered, if you can get a considered reaction on an afternoon when history is made to come. 019 477 2000. Email simply read at centrevem.co.uk. Send a text to 85 102. On a breathless afternoon, emails, texts, calls and reaction. Goodness me, all that's coming up next.